We welcome you live to the season number 5 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race at Rockingham Speedway, and we are just about ready to go tonight. It is race number 8 of the Cup Series season. We are back after, of course, the off week last week for Cup and the entirety of the league besides iCar, and we head to the Rock tonight at Rockingham, North Carolina. This is Rockingham Speedway in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. Like I said, race number 8 of season number 5. And we are just about ready to go tonight. First going to start off with the half-hour warm-up session. Of course, the All-Star race was here last season. Never had a points race before. We had Grand National yesterday. Of course, they also ran here back in season 4 for the points races, so they've already had 2. But this is the first ever Cup Series points race here at Rockingham Speedway. And, of course, obviously the first one overall with the Gen 4 car. But, of course, starting off, we're going to have the half-hour warm-up session. 2 laps, as usual, of qualifying coming up after that. 160 laps on the board for tonight. We're going over what your chase standings are looking like. Some breaking news also that we've had today. A lot of that to talk about during this warm-up session. And we are just about ready to go here at Rockingham, North Carolina. We'll be on the racetrack in just a minute for this warm-up session to start us off for race number 8 of the Cup Series season here in season number 5. Alrighty. Of course, welcome live. I'm, of course, as always, your host, Ethan Trendler. We're going to have 2 guest analysts tonight, Eli Franklin, as usual. We're also going to have your Grand National Series winner from last night, Jacob Clarino, will be introducing those 2 as once this warm-up session comes up. Obviously, you guys all know Eli, usual commentator here in the Cup Series, but, of course, first career win last night for Jacob Clarino in Grand National. That great strategy that he had, led the most laps even, and got that huge win for the first time in his Cup Series career, or his Grand National Series career, I should say. But here we go. The car is just about to be on the racetrack here for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series in Rockingham. Of course, like we said, we were coming off, well, technically we're coming off Phoenix. There was nothing last week. The Cup Series was off. So we are coming off Phoenix and coming off a second Matthew White win of the season. Still a lot of notable drivers, though, looking for their first wins of the year. We got so much to talk about coming up in this warm-up session from the Rock. Alrighty, here we go from Rockingham, North Carolina. It is Rockingham Speedway tonight for NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. Alright, cars are pulling onto the racetrack here at the Rock. We are ready to go. Welcome to Rockingham Speedway tonight for race number 8 of the Cup Series season. And cars pulling on the racetrack here for this warm-up session already. And here's your winner in Phoenix, Matthew White, heading down the front straightaway. Had that one, unlike his Richmond win, had that one handily in the bag, dominated the second half of that race, and won his second race of the season at Phoenix. He heads down the back straightaway in the 3 and 4. A new paint scheme for Matthew this week, kind of a Darrell Waltrip throwback, so kind of pretty cool here on the racetrack for White. He's looking for back-to-back wins. All right, anyways, of course, joining us in the booth, as always, Eli Franklin, but also going to have Jacob Clarino in here. So we're going to start with Jacob. So, Jacob, huge win last night for you guys in the Grand National Series, the first of your career. What an incredible strategy call all around. With that, you obviously know a lot about Rockingham Speedway. What can these drivers expect early on in this race, you think?
Yeah, so Rockingham is a really technical track as it's a small 1.1 mile speedway. I'm pretty sure drivers can expect a lot of chaos, a lot of to the first green flag start, as this track temps can get pretty hot, above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. He's going to turn one here. Ashton Miller rides it up really high as you see comes out, gets a good run. You really want to do that, get up, walk it up to the red rocks in the corner. Just kind of walk it down. Up also. The ideal line for tire saving here would be kind of just riding it around the bottom on the yellow line. And just getting really low, like walk it up to the fence.
Of course, now we'll move on to you, Eli. Of course, unfortunately, you weren't able to do the Grand National race here last night, but I'm assuming you've raced here at Rockingham in the past. What are your expectations for just the majority of this race tonight?
I did the truck race here on Monday. It was tire savings gonna be a main point here tonight. Can't afford to burn them early. Burn them early, then if you have a green flag run, you will not survive here at this track. Also, the exit of these corners are very loose, so I also expect early on, like I watched the replay of last night, Xfinity race, and what it was, the truck race. A lot of early yellows early on, and you don't want to be involved in those early yellows and be out early and have damage to where you can't compete at the end.
Yeah, of course, you got to be careful with that. There was a caution on lap number 1 last night in the Grand National race. There was also a very long green flag run at the end of the race. It was pretty interesting. Going into some of the top stories around the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League here on Cup Series race day, the biggest one is, of course, the Ethan Chandler Racing plane had an issue. They brought what was John Butler, Landon Johnson, Davian Tobin, and William Reagan to Daytona last night. They had a little bit of a sponsor event before the Cup Series race today here at Rockingham. Leading this morning when they were trying to take off from Daytona Beach, Florida. Unfortunately, the plane had a bit of issues taking off. Luckily, everybody was okay. Nobody was hurt or anything like that. But unfortunately, those drivers are not able to make the race, and ETR and Johnson Motorsports just pulled every car out besides the 09, which is going to be filled in by John Butler. So this is huge news because you think guys like John Butler, he's on the chase cut line entering this race. A guy like Davian Tobin, also in the cut line, can't afford to lose points, but he will tonight. Speaking about the chase, let's look at your chase cut line entering today here in Rockingham. Of course, Cameron Chandler currently leads the points. You see Sean Rowe currently second in the standings. He, of course, has one win this season in Nashville. Braden Hunsaker is third right now in points. Still looking for that first win of the year. Matthew White currently sits fourth in the standings. Bryce Benton in fifth, though 3 wins this year. Aiden Donahue, Axel Smith, then you got John Butler, of course, Jacob Quayle, Andrew Stacy currently your chase. Ashton Miller currently sits just outside the chase. Payson Lindsay, of course, second race of suspension. He'll be back next week at Pocono. He is now outside of the chase. You got Trenton Wilkin below the cut line, and of course Davian Tobin, another one unfortunate below the cut line. So Wilkin, Sean Rowe, and Sean Hillfish ended up not actually making the trip to Daytona last night or yesterday, so they were not. They didn't have any issues. They were here in Rockingham, and they will race tonight. I mean, guys, how hard do you think it is for these drivers to all of a sudden they're forced to miss this race, and they obviously on the chase cut line, they're forced to miss this race. Like, what do you think this could do to their season?
Really impact the points, obviously, but since the change to the format from last year, it hurts them a ton. Obviously, in the FedEx League, there is no winning in, so if they had a win before or they can get a win after, there's no guarantee of the playoffs. So for these guys outside the cut line, like a Connor Asbell, it's the opportunity to gain points here tonight, make up on those guys that won't be able to make it today. Cut line, because really, for this format, it's consistency and be able to run every race possible. So as long as you can run every race, and especially take advantage of days like tonight, when you get guys on inside the playoffs, right outside the cut line, you can gain on them just by finishing.
Yeah, of course, that's we'll just see how it goes tonight. It's the iRacing the Flag Fest. Jacob Clearno has the YouTube car. First ever time we've seen, well, not first ever time, but first time this season we've seen a Cup Series YouTube car on the racetrack. So, Jacob, entering the track here, we're going to ride along with you for a few laps, but once we do that, you want to take us around here at the Rock? Maybe? Oh, he's muted. We'll ride along with the YouTube car for now through 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway. Rockingham, I'll do it over here. We just kind of drive deep into the corner, but you can't hit the wall. I think it's definitely, I was doing some test laps earlier. It's definitely a lot better. Oh, he's going to see Andrew Stacy spin here down the back straightaway. I was about to say, definitely a lot better with not hitting the wall down there and spinning out than the Grand National race last night. That was terrible with that. just getting started, only about 10 minutes through the warm-up session here at Rockingham. And right along with the YouTube car, Jacob Clarino. CJ Irvin coming to the racetrack, also got the 40 of Brandon Pfeiffer. He's had a pretty bad year. This could be a good opportunity for him, though, to gain some points. And there's Sean Hilquich ahead of him, spinning out a little bit. Around goes Connor Avarola here on the back straightaway, actually will save it. Side by side between Aiden Holtz here and Ashton Miller. Oh, goodness. 12 car Wilkin, middle of the racetrack, spinning here in practice. Of course, 160 laps tonight, halfway break at the end of lap 80. You're not able to make the halfway break on fuel. You see the 09 of Knox Thompson, 3 and 4. Of course, filling in for John Butler. They re-wrapped the car, have a new number font on it as well.
Pit stops here tonight. It's going to get very interesting pit stops because how much tires get destroyed here at this track early on. Been a couple laps, you lose a couple tenths, and then later on you lose a couple seconds even. So it's going to be interesting when it got outside the pit. Again, it's almost like a couple weeks ago. You can pit early and gain a lot of time early on, but you take the risk of that caution. We saw it pan out a couple weeks ago in the stage race. So see what these guys do early on. If we go green flag running, if we have to have green flag pit stops, how early do you decide to come in?
Of course, pit strategy, all that really affected the Grand National race last night with Jacob Clarino's his pit strategy that got him the win. It was a pretty great call. We'll see if we see the same sort of thing tonight in this Cup Series race. All right. Not halfway through yet through this session, but just about. Not John Butler, the 09 of Knox Thompson pulling onto the track. Oh, Andrew Stacy just got into the pit barrels, and he'll get slammed by the 09. Here's Trent Wilkin. And Connor Heverly down the front stretch as well. Word that Devian Tobin actually will make tonight's race. Somehow he found transportation from Daytona to Rockingham tonight, so you will see Tobin in the race. That is great news for him in his point situation. His teammate Trenton Wilkin goes 3 and 4. Here's the 8 car of Cameron Chandler. What a season he's had so far for points. Really consistent all year long. Best average finish, I believe, most top 5s I think as well. Points leader, still not a win though. He's been close to victory lane, but somehow, some way, he just hasn't broken through yet to actually get there. Racing here with Braden Hunsicker. These two had a great battle in Phoenix 2 weeks ago. Are both top 3 in points, both looking for the first wins of the year. Of course, Braden, your defending Cup Series champion. Now, would be 8 races in. It'd be kind of surprising for him not to have the victory yet as your defending champ. Around goes the 97 of Smith here in the backstretch. Smith. And the 94 of CJ to the bumper of the 42 of Aiden Holtz. Now to the outside. Oh, and Holtz will take him out. Halfway through this warm session here in Rockingham. Oh, and the wall hard Matthew White. He gets slammed again. All right, well, we'll be right back here from the Rock. Stay tuned. I believe we're still live. iRacing, just, we're having a technical issue real quick, so iRacing, got to reload that. I believe we're still all live and okay, I think. We should be at least, so we're going to just get this all fixed up with iRacing real quick, and we'll be right back on the racetrack here for the warm-up session. Still about just over 10 minutes to go here. Okay. So, still very interesting race coming up. Who will get the win tonight? That's the big question. There's a lot of contenders. I think, honestly, I would put Cameron Chandler as maybe your favorite. He looked good all week. Just some bad luck. Maybe he can actually turn the luck around. He probably should have won a race or two this week already. Maybe the truck race, probably iCar as well. Just has bad luck at the end of those ones. Can tonight maybe turn around his luck this week. Maybe he can go to victory lane for the first time this season and extend his points lead.
We'll say one thing about this track, as once you exit 2 and go into 4, it kind of looks like the Dover style, as there's no grass. So once if you spin out or have an incident, there is no room for error to bail you out of grass or anything. If you spin out, there's a good chance you're going to hit the inside wall and hurt your car really bad.
Yeah, that's a good point, as we are back here live at Rockingham Speedway. Sorry about the little issue we had, but we're back. Just over 11 minutes to go here. Session is now with you. Connor Haverly got loose. Behind him, you got the 8 car of Cameron Chandler, and that's 79 of Ashton Miller. So, like I said, expect a smaller car count today, just because the ETR issues and some other things going on tonight. Oh, around goes the 09 of Knox Thompson. New little spin. Knox is actually currently 6th on the board. Look, he's looking pretty solid so far. Beating guys like Andrew Stacy, Ashton Miller, Trent Wilkin, Rich Cherry, and others.
I'll say one thing about a smaller field is hopefully that means more green flag racing. Cars get spread out, look quicker. So hopefully more green flag racing will probably get involved in the stops.
First, remember we had a very long green flag run to finish off not last week, but the last race we had at Phoenix. iRacing's having technical issues again, so we'll sort it out. All right. Here's the YouTube car on pit road right now, the 77 there, Braden Hunsicker, 50 of Connor Haverly coming on the pit road again, and others. And here's Trent Wilkin, 12. A car, Cameron Chandler on the wall a little bit.
Coming up on 9 minutes to go here. Be a good time for these drivers. Maybe how we put the runs in to have the cars ready for this race. Practice entering pit road because it'll only be a mile-long track and lap time's very quick. If you go speed, you can easily go a lap or 2 down. And it's how with flowway right now, a very small field, is very unlikely to caution if you have a green flag run. So if you got to practice your pit entry here, make sure you don't get caught speed.
Yeah, we of course we expect to have 2 green flag pit stops if we have a normal race with the runs going naturally and whatnot. Like if the halfway break was the only caution of the day, we would expect 2 green flag pit stops. There's a possibility we would have we would have none, but that's a little unlikely. Trent Wilkins somehow hit Knox Thompson, but still going. All right. Still waiting some other cars, by the way. We'll have more than this. Here's the 42 Aiden Holes down on a 1 and 2. At 8:21 to go. Of course, these guys have a bunch of pretty tough racetracks coming up again tonight. pretty tough one in Rockingham. We go to next week, it's Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. Then we go to Dover, and then after that, it's the Charlotte 600. So and then we go to Bristol after that. So it is a gauntlet coming up here for these drivers. You got to be pretty solid. There's a lot of racetracks going. Short track, whatever Pocono is, a mile and a half at Charlotte, but that of course is a very long race. Some road courses coming up as well. Actually, one more road course coming up this season at Watkins Glen. But tonight is all about the Rock. Here's Gary Smith down the front straightaway. And it's a 1 and 2 he goes. See Sean Hill.
One guy we haven't talked about yet that could really. One guy that we haven't talked about tonight that can benefit off a smaller field here tonight that has struggled with bad luck all year long is Brent Piper. Right now he's 18th on the board, which is honestly not the greatest, but he just needs to finish the race. Because if you look at his season, how it's went, he's been wrecked out early. His doing or not his doing, he's been wrecked out early almost virtually every race. So a small field here today. Hopefully this will give him he can finish and hopefully build some momentum the rest of the season. Try to finish out the street and start season strong with how bad the start is.
Yeah, he is. I mean, a lot of DNFs. I think he has 2 DNFs before lap 1 gets started, which is something. But another guy we're talking about, Connor Haberla, he's 13th right now. He's gotten some okay finishes. He's got 2 top 10s in a row at Nashville and Atlanta, I believe, wherever we were before that. Yeah, and then finished top 15 at Phoenix after having an abysmal start to the season, similar to what Piper had. Here's Gary Smith, here's Cherry. Down the back straightaway for that 82 car of Aiden Donahue. Matthew White to the outside. So far, top of the board, it's a 1-2 for Highline Motorsports. See Cameron Chandler 3rd, Bryce Benson 4th, Aiden Donahue is 5th. So the top 5 are separated by less than a 10th of a second. Knox Thompson looks pretty solid, so that's not really down at 9th. Nobush running the top 10.
Guy who kind of shocked us so far early on, almost in his practice sessions, Richard Cherry in 16th. Usually runs inside the top 5 most races. Could be just we have a long one, or maybe doesn't have the great short run speed. As I say, he's up to 8th now, so that kind of screws what I was talking about. But early on, let's see if Richard Cherry can have a good race.
Cherry, of course, won the truck race here on Monday. Got crashed out that one lap 1 of the Grand National race. That was kind of polar opposites for him. What will happen tonight for him in the Cup race? Matthew White chasing Aiden Donahue. I mean, Aiden's had for anyone else's standards, he's had a good year. But 6th in points right now, I believe. But for his standards, no wins. Not really any ton of laps led either. I mean, it's just hasn't been the greatest season for Aiden Donahue for his standards, I guess. Slide job there with Matthew White in a 1 and 2. Ooh, almost contact down the back straightaway. Side by side they go.
And lap times are very close early on. The top, looks like the top 5 cars not even within 1/10 of a second. So lap times here are pretty similar.
Yeah, I mean, they are. I feel like it's always like that. We don't have Sean Rowe right now in the session yet. He should be here. I don't know when, but we're just go in the warm session. I feel like usually it's the same kind of like 6 or 7 guys like White, Hunsinger, Chandler, Benson, Donahue, Rowe. They've all been so close and so good this season. Throwing Payson Lindsay there when he's actually not suspended as well. And also Trenton Wilkin is another great one. Ashton Miller sometimes, and he's right now 10th on the board. Ashton enters this race 11th in the chase, trying to break inside the chase for the first time all season. Which is something I would not have expected to say about Ashton Miller. He won his dual race this year, but that's about all the highlights he has.
As you're talking with Sean Rowe's not in sessions. Now Davian Tobin and Sean Rowe both in the next race.
Alright, so every single so yeah, the ETR plane crash, or whatever it was, apparently doesn't even affect ETR because all 4 Cup drivers are here. Only affects Johnson Motorsports for the most part. So I guess you could say the Johnson Motorsports plane an incident.
We'll say kind of hurt some early on this race. Not a lot, kind of down
Oh my
3
God.
minutes of practice time left. Not a lot of time left in practice, so we probably won't get a lot of practice time in if any at all. So early on, they have to be safe here with this car because how easy you get loose here on the tires, you can burn quickly.
Yeah, you forced the tires. I don't know if you saw it, Eli, but Rich Cherry was, or somebody was surfing on top of Rich Cherry, and there was the most debris I've ever seen coming out of a race car, out of that 29.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I was on a different car and I saw that type of Brandon Piper. Yeah.
Here comes Huntsicker down the backstretch. 2 minutes to go. Back in a 1 and 2. It's kind of funny that the two guys with the most wins, Matthew White, Bryce Benton, Matthew with 2, Bryce with 3. What a breakout season Bryce has had. Last couple of races not the best, but still a really great season for him. Got his first 3 wins of his career already, the Daytona 500 champion this season. They're 4th and 5th in points. In the top, well, I mean, Sean Rowe's second, he has a win, but first and third, Chandler and Huntsicker don't have victories at all this season. So 4th and 5th have a combined 5 wins this year. The top 3 have a combined 1. So definitely a little bit lopsided, if you would think about it. It doesn't really make sense, but it's consistency matters the most. Of course, the top 10 all make the chase. Bryce Benton is spinning hard into the wall. Oh, man. Upside down. Another driver that's got to be... Oh!
Now on track as he gets loose here, but a minute left. I guess you can practice for qualifying here, so you can get a decent lap, see what you can do in qualifying, but mainly just get a car.
Yeah, not great practice time here for Sean Rowe, unfortunately for him. There he is in the 20 on the racetrack in front of his teammate Trenton Wilkin. Yeah, about a minute to go. 2 laps qualifying coming up next here in Rockingham. We've seen some pretty good pole sitters this week so far. We'll see what we see tonight. Was 20th on his first lap. There's the YouTube car of Jake McClure now, of course. All right, so wrapping it down here in Rockingham. Ready for race number 8 of the Cup Series season. Of course, the first point of the day will be awarded for the pole winner. Of course, as usual, the way they get points, stage points in the Cup Series, the race finishing points, leading the most laps, getting 0x incident points, and of course, winning the pole. All right, check the flag in the air. Highline Motorsports 1 and 2 here, but the top is 5 cars separated by almost just half a tenth, just over half a tenth for Donahue there at the end. So who's going to win the pole? I'm not really sure. This is going to be an interesting qualifying session we got coming up.
Also, going to see what these drivers may do. Will some of them decide to give up on lap 1 and get the tires warmed up and run the high line for a lap 2, or they push really hard for 2 laps?
We've seen some drivers do that. I think Cole Wilson did that last night. He started on pole, so it was a pretty good strategy.
I think Matthew might be the favorite today, as he won iCar Tuesday. He said he hates this track, but it seems like he's pretty fast with practice. So also, I'm really pulling for the 82 Vane Donahue because he loves this track. He's his best, and honestly, yesterday, if it wasn't for me taking tires on that last caution in yesterday's race, I probably would have been Aiden, probably passing Cole, and probably getting a win and going back to back.
So Chandler so far first car over the line. Miller is second. Of course, maybe bad laps for lap 1. Andrew Stacy goes P2. Smith that's scary. Smith. Aiden Holes goes 4th. Hilquich is 5th. So we'll see if lap 2 brings improvement for these guys. Anyone saving for that lap? Here's Brandon Piper from the racetrack. Here comes Chandler down the front straightaway on his final lap. Probably should have won iCar. Miller goes second and improves on his second lap. Cameron Chandler does improve. goes about half-tenth better than Ashton Miller. Currently on provisional pole with a lot of drivers left to go still. Here's Rich Cherry down in a 1 and 2. Aiden Donahue is 6th on his first lap. Matthew White 2nd on lap 1. Here's Donahue. There's Hunsicker coming on the racetrack. Matthew White, where is he? Trying to find where he is. There he is. Off turn number 4 goes. Oh, Matthew White gets loose. Aiden Donahue, top of the board.
Donahue goes top of the board here. Whoa,
wow. Matthew White improves somehow, but stays 3rd. Probably could have been actually pole for Matthew White and get loose there. Oh, down the front straightaway, Wilkins spins. I believe he'll be able to restart here and go back on the racetrack. Here comes Braden Hunsicker down the front straightaway. This is exactly what Donahue needed to see, though, as Hunsicker is 14th. 9 seconds off the pace. Wow, he must have had lap 2 deleted. Oh my, that is terrible news to start off here for Braden Hunsicker. Exactly what he did not need.
Knox Thompson gets what a qualifying.
Just by spot. That's a shocker. Takes away from main holes.
Knox Thompson looks pretty good in that Johnson Motorsports equipment. You know, John Butler always runs well in that 09. Filling in for him tonight. Here comes Bryce Benson on the racetrack and Sean Rowe. 2 possible pole sitters. We'll see. Can anyone knock Aiden Donahue off pole? Like I said, this would be a huge pole for him. Exactly what he needs heading into this race. Here's Bryce Benson back at a 1 and 2. Up the racetrack in the wall.
He's in the fence.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. As he heads down the back straightaway, Sean Rowe behind him. Actually get to that. There he is. Also on the racetrack,
He
Trent
just
Wilkins
hit the wall,
still.
so this lap won't count for Sean Rose. He hit the wall in turn 1.
Luckily, they still have lap 2. Jacob Quayle on the wall as well.
Both 29. Invalidating her first lap skill be upon.
Gotta make sure Bryce isn't the wall, of course. Bad race last week, or last. Oh, it's the wall again, and now this is bad.
Coming out of 2 again.
He was 9th. It actually wasn't invalid. He was 9th. Here comes Sean Rowe down the back straightaway. To Wilkin is 8th. Down to 3 and 4 for the 20.
We can really get a little bit sideways there. Coming down the front straight, it is going to be.
Wow, that's a 4th of no practice.
4th. Pretty solid for Sean Rowe. So we're going to see who's on the racetrack. We got Jacob Quayle on the 14. He has yet to put down a time. A minute to go, but so far, Quayle gets loose. So far, nobody knocking off Aiden Donahue off pulling a shockingly bad qualifying effort for Braden Hunsicker. Lap 2 didn't count. He's currently 17th. Quayle is backing it down. I don't know. He's coming to pit road. Or no, he's not. I'm not really sure what he's doing. There's Sean Rowe coming to pit road. He was 4th. Of course, Cameron Chandler currently 2nd. Axel Smith to 3 and 4 on the racetrack now.
He might have enough time for the lap here. It's going to be very, very close here.
Yeah, it's
going to be very close. Axel Smith has Axel's had a good year. Currently sits not inside of the chase as a rookie. Down the back stretch he goes. It's going to be very close to see if he can get a lap in here. Nobody else, I don't think they can time. Through 3 and 4 goes Axel Smith. He's not going to be able to make the line. It's going to be maybe. Oh, I think he actually got it. Maybe? I don't know.
Did he get a time in?
Nope, doesn't seem like it. I don't think iRacing County's going to start 18th.
Unfortunate for him. But here we go in Rockingham. This is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series, and Aiden Donahue is on pole for the first time all season. Exactly what he needed to see heading to the race number 8, which it hasn't been the greatest Cup Series season in all of his league seasons full time. Definitely has been the most disappointing, but we'll see what Aiden can do tonight. All right, Jacob Cleary, do you want to bring us through our top 10 starting positions here? Maybe? Wow, okay. I guess not. So I'll do it then. Starting on the pole, Aiden Donahue to his outside. Oh.
Alright, starting on the front row, Aiden Donahue in the 82 Pepsi Chevy, then starting second to him, Cameron Chandler in the 8 Chipotle car. Starting third, Matthew White, the really nice DW throwback. Starting 4th, Sean Rowe, and then rounding up the top 5, Ashton Miller.
And then, yeah, Thompson holds for a really good qualifying effort. Knox Thompson, he's going to be filling in for John Butler, of course, in that new Johnson Motorsports equipment. He's going to be 6th. Andrew Stacy comes into this race just above the Chase cut line in 8th. He's had a good year. See, Bryce Benson starts 10th back here. Trenton Wilkins starts 9th. Wilkins finished 3rd in Phoenix for his best finish of the season. Bryce starts 10th. He is, I mean, after his 2 wins in a row, it hasn't been the greatest, not the greatest result in Nashville. Of course, that early crash in Phoenix. So he needs to try to get something turned around here. Here we go. It is race number 8 of the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series season. We are just about ready to go here at the Rock. Let's get Rock. There's a giant rock outside of the racetrack here at Rockingham. So I've actually been at this track before. I'll probably actually be here again this season for the NASCAR race. All right. Car is now rolling off the grid. Gary Smith, for some reason, doesn't make it to the grid. Not really sure what's going on with him. Yeah, I'm not really sure. As anyways, of course, we are live here in Rockingham. It is race number 8 of the Cup Series season, and Aiden Donahue, this is a very, very, very valuable pole for him. He'll be starting first, wants to try to get away, maybe win the stage. We got, of course, 80 laps in the first half. Stage 1's sort of at the halfway break. Of course, they can't make it to the end on fuel or can come to check pit speed this time by. And of course, check their pit boxes as well. And there's the 82 there of Aiden Donahue. He'll be the first one rolling to pit road. First time all season he's on pole. We expected Aiden at this point to have maybe multiple wins, probably be the points leader. But man, this has just not been the greatest season for him. He currently sits 6th in points entering this race, which isn't bad. He's still in the chase, obviously. But for Aiden, that is bad. How dominant he's been in the past. And he will roll the pit road. They will all come to check their pit boxes in at pit road speed. I'm not exactly sure where Gary Smith is and didn't come to the grid for some reason. All right. Of course, Chuscone, as usual, down the front straightaway here in Rockingham. We are just about ready to go racing from the Rock. 160 laps, 160 miles. Aiden Donahue will choose the outside for the initial start of this race. Here we go from Rockingham. Donahue would love a victory tonight. It would be huge for his season and confidence boost. But Cameron Chandler on the bottom is also probably even more hungry for a victory. It's the first ever Cup Series points race from Rockingham Speedway. We're excited to go with this one. Here we go. Pace car, we're going to make that hard left turn and down to pit road. The Season 5 Cup Series race from Rockingham Speedway is green and underway. Let's go. Oh my God.
Hey, Donnie got
me?
that started sacked to the outside. Cam Chandler going into the lead.
Their caution is out again. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It never ends back there, I feel like. I don't know what they were doing. We'll see. Yeah, just got right into it. Oh, it's actually Braden Hunsicker. Oh, it's iRacing lags. I can't actually get to it.
50 didn't get going in time, and he just absolutely got ran from behind.
Let's ride along with Hunsicker. Yeah, I mean, the issue is with these Gen 4 cars, you make the slightest contact with somebody on the rear bumper, you're going around, which is interesting, but single car, well, not a single car spin, what am I saying? Spin there for 77. Oh, the caution's out already. Unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. And Cameron Chandler, for some reason, restarted ahead of Don. I don't know what that was. Donahue fell back to 3rd. I don't know if that's. I guess it's legal technically. I don't really know what was going on there. As we got cars coming to pit road here. Only 19 cars in the grid. There's actually 20. But I don't know what Gary Smith's doing. He just didn't show up to the grid. This is the smallest field of the Cup Series season. By far. As Braden Huntsinger needs to try to repair some damage there. This is why you cannot start in the back of the field for Braden. That second lap of qualifying didn't count for him. So unfortunate. Not the way you have to start off your race. Alrighty. So, I mean, what a way to start here. Chandler is being scored to leader. We're coming to choose here. Donnie will get the front row. He chooses, the top two choose outside. That was close, but I think it's still pretty much legal. There's Davy and Tobin coming up pit road. Cars coming off pit road. All right. We're ready for the restart here at Rockingham. We're on lap 5. Hopefully we can actually get away this time. That would be nice. That has happened way too many times where they just make a tiny bit of, like, the smallest amount of contact. You can't really push in the restarts in this car, and immediately you go around. Well, here we go. In Rockingham, getting ready for the restart. It'll be Chandler on the outside of Donahue. Pace car is back in. Let's actually try this again this time. And back to green from Rockingham Speedway. Good restart around the outside with that 8-car of Cameron Chandler again. He is clear on Donahue. Donahue now side by side with Matthew White. Back into 1 and 2. As they head down the back straightaway, clean so far. Donahue almost now falling back to third. He's got his teammate Ashton Miller on the outside lane. Almost contact between these two. Sean Rowe also coming. Not the greatest start of the race for your pole sitter. Donahue gets loose off corner exit, slides down the front straightaway. The outside goes that 79 of Ashton Miller. He's going to take 4th away from his team owner. Now Sean Rowe to the bumper of Donahue in the 82. Also got side-by-side action into Stacy, trying to get low on Aiden Holes in the 42 car. Side by side, back into 1 and 2. Around the outside lane goes Sean Rowe to 20. He's going to get clear of Aiden Donahue, and your pole sitter now only 7 laps in. Back to 5th already. Man, this is not the way he wanted to start. Got the huge confidence boost in the pole. Terrible, terrible race. Terrible start to the race, though, for Aiden Donahue. Back now 5 spots. Side by side between Knox Thompson and Trent Wilkin, affiliated teammates. You also got Braden Huntsinger trying to drive his way through the field. Up to the outside through 1 and 2 on that 09 car.
Braden Huntsinger, hell of a run coming out too. That's going to get his way to the top 10.
He is driving his way through the field already. See Bryce Benton side by side with Andrew Stacy. Huntsinger clear. As Stacy hits side by side with Bryce Benton battle for 6th. Stacy looking to pass that 9 car. Oh, Benton gets in the wall a little bit. And almost fall back to 7th. Door to door, back into 3 and 4. Racetrack as well, Sean Rowe just passed Ashton Miller around the outside lane, and he's clear on him. Side by side again, Benton's going to re-clear Stacy for 6th. Aiden Donahue, not a good start at all for the race, back to 5th. And Cameron Chandler already driving away 1 second the lead for that 8 car. I said maybe the favorite coming into this race, showing it so far. There's Ashton Miller trying to get to the inside of the 20 of Sean Rowe.
Oh, contact! Oh, the 09 goes around!
Oh my goodness.
He
Knox
collects the
Thompson.
30 Sean Ilkowicz. Caution!
And second yellow is out already. Knox Thompson hard into the wall. We'll see what happens. Oh, it was, I believe, maybe some contact from his affiliated teammate. We'll see. Oh, yeah, it was. Wow, Trent Wilkin overcorrected. Well, Knox has to learn not to overcorrect like that. That's can't be doing, but Trent Wilkin, that's contact. Wow, let's take a look at what happens. From the onboard, I mean. say. Unfortunate there, and Knox could not hang on. But Sean Ilkridge as well. Not the way Knox Thompson wanted to have his race go, filling in for John Butler. Getting into the second caution tonight on lap 12. So I would not expect Sean Rowe. He's coming. Wow, Sean Rowe coming. Nope, never mind.
No.
Wow. Oh, Aiden Holes comes at the last second. So it's a bit of a fake out there by Sean Rowe. So they're still not going to be able to make it to the end on fuel and believe at least 2 cautions now, allowing them to save already in this race. I think a lot of races this season have had early yellows like this. Not exactly sure why. Seems to be a theme lately, though. There's only 20 cars in this race, so we would expect a little bit cleaner than what we've seen in the past. I mean, we know they could race. They had like 20, almost 30 cars in Phoenix 2 weeks ago. I mean, they ran long green flag run to the end, so we know they can go pretty clean and green to the ends. But something, so I feel like it's always something this season. Once we're under a green flag run, then for some reason there's a caution that comes out. But we're going to come into the shoes this time by and restart in lap 15. Outside, Chandler. Outside again, Matthew White. Sean Rowe goes to the inside with the 79 of Ashton Miller.
Hey, Donnie, calling his C60 affiliate teammates here for Matthew White.
So we'll get ready for this restart. Going to be on lap 15 at the Rock. Rob Stockson going to be out of the race. Only going to be 18 left running because Gary Smith didn't actually start. So definitely the smallest amount of cars we've seen running in a Cup race, maybe all season, including the entire race, and we're only now 14 laps in. Rolling down the back straightaway. Of course, top 2 choose the outside lane. That will give Sean Rowe the front row. Aiden Donahue chooses the 3rd lane on the outside. Here we go. Well, hopefully, see some good racing here for the lead between these two. Chandler and Rowe have had a great season together. They've, of course, only combined for 1 win, though, but they've had so many good battles in there. Of course, the top 2 in points as we go back to read somebody blank out there. Stacy, a great restart again around the outside lane for the 8 car of Cameron Chandler. Side by side between Matthew White and Sean Rowe for 2nd. They knee on each other door to door here down the back straightaway. Rowe trying to keep it to the inside. Had a lot of confidence coming into this race. We interviewed him last week and 2 weeks ago in Phoenix, and he's going to get cleared by Matthew White. Trent Wilson looking to the inside of Andrew Stacy here door to door. Bryce Benson also ahead of them. He didn't wreck out, but had damage early that kind of ruined his race in Phoenix. Same thing with Aiden Donnie, who was also involved in that crash in Phoenix. To the outside he goes of Braden Hunsicker, who's trying to get to his inside for 5th, but he's going through the crossover move on the inside of his teammate, Ashton Miller, side by side back into 1 and 2. He's going to actually pull a bit of a slide job and clear for 4th place. We know Aiden was so good here at the Rock, former Grand National winner at this racetrack. We got a battle for 2nd starting up yet again between the 20 of Sean Rowe. Now outside goes the 77 of Hunsicker on Ashton Miller. Almost contact, they got to keep it off each other there. Miller falls back to 6th. Here is Rowe trying to challenge for 2nd on Matthew White. And again, Cameron Chandler is just driving off to the sunset. Still obviously a ton of laps to go. So Cameron gotta, well, even for the stage, still gotta save his stuff. Here's Rowe, the outside through 1 and 2. Matthew White on that bottom. We got a battle here between Ashton Miller and Bryce Benson. Miller's lost a couple spots. Here is Rowe to the inside of Matthew White. Actually, can't get there and go to the outside to 3 and 4.
Pretty smart. Sean Rowe backing out as he uses the outside. He's gonna have a run on 7 car Matthew White.
He's going to try to top through 1 and 2. Way up to the wall yet again. You're going to see if he has some sort of run down the back straightaway. I mean, it's hard to pass on the bottom. It's definitely much easier to pass and get restarts in the outside lane. But the issue is you got to get to the outside of the guy. And I don't think Matthew's going to be given the outside off corner exits like this. But the row gets loose. Actually got to run. Matthew trying to block. Oh, like I said, right there on display. Matthew not giving up the outside to Sean Rowe. Rowe's going to try to get through 1 and 2. So he might actually get there off corner exit. Nope. Still on his back bumper.
Matthew White got really good. Sean Rowe gonna try again. He's sideways.
Oh!
Oh my goodness.
Saves it. Aiden Donahue, though, has a run home down the front straightaway for third. Oh, this could have been disastrous for the 20 car. Here comes Donahue to the bottom. Rowe's going to try to get a good corner exit here. He'll re-clear that 82 car, and he'll go back to work. Also got side-by-side Andrew Stacy to the inside of the 79 of Miller. Stacy now got Trenton Wilkin on his bottom. Here, though, is the 82 of Donahue back to the bumper of Sean Rowe. Rowe will go to the top. He also got Braden Hunsicker back into the battle as well. Donahue on the bottom, actually. Yeah, he got clear. On the bottom, how about that? Rowe almost
I think
like
Sean Rowe got too hot there and had to let out early.
Here's Braden Hunsicker as well on the inside. Remember, Sean was just battling for second. He's about to fall back to fifth.
Loses a little bit of momentum. Here he goes, down to the inside. 77 Hunsicker, can he make it work?
On the bottom of Rowe, they're going to be side-by-side. Rowe gets good momentum off corner exit. Re-clears that 77 car, but all of a sudden, something has kind of gone away on this 20 machine. Of course, had that really big slide. Maybe that was the reason. Still trying to recover from that. He'll go back to the bumper of Donahue as they continue to battle for about third, these 3 cars. Here comes the 77 back to the inside, though, and Sean Rowe. Ooh, Hunsicker going to run him way up the racetrack. These two finished 1-2 at Nashville. Of course, we'll throw with the winner. Hunsicker, defending series champion, still looking for their first win of the season. To the outside, he goes through turns 1 and 2. Oh, in the wall goes Sean Rowe.
Contact.
Wow, that 20 car is struggling, and that didn't give him any damage, I don't think. It actually gave Braden Hunsicker a bit of damage, I think. Bryce Benson now into the battle. Braden's got a bit of a... you see the wall again, Sean Rowe. He is struggling all of a sudden. I mean, I told you guys he didn't come into this race with a ton of confidence. Maybe showing why. He's such a cool, calm, and collected driver all season, so consistent. All of a sudden making a couple of mistakes early.
On the outside.
He's going to go side-by-side here down the front straightaway with that 20 car. He will be probably clear of him, and I think Sean just let him go. Roy Rowe is now back to 6th.
No practice, you can't practice hard to get know your tires and not burn them up early. I think without the long run practice, you can see that he's burned his tires up early as he's now over a second off his pace from the beginning of this reflag run.
Here's the 97 of Axel Smith looking at the inside of the 12 of Wilkin.
Oh, hell, yes. Sideways.
Loose again, you got Cheery into the battle, and in Davian Tobin. Way up the racetrack for that 97 car. Might be split. No, Cheery gonna fall back in line, go door to door. Tobin also gonna pass him. Axel gonna lose 2 spots here on 1 lap. Back to 12th he goes. Up front, you see the battle for the lead. It's not really a battle right now. It's 7/10 out. Cameron Chandler probably just trying to manage Matthew White behind him as we come to lap 30 here at the Rock. Side by side, here's Sean Rowe getting passed by Andrew Stacy and Ashton Miller. That 20 car is off the pace.
Here's Sean Rowe here. You have to think if everybody's going to have to make things like pit stop pitting early here to get fresh tires on this thing, so you're falling back quickly over a half a second off compared to the rest of the field. So if we do have green flag pit stops, you need to come in soon.
Here we go, side by side. Trent Wilkin up the racetrack he goes. The door of that 29 of Cherry. You got Davian Tobin on the outside as well. Wilkin now, or getting, I'm sorry, Cherry now to the inside row again. This is for 8th. And that 20 car pace is just gone. He was just battling for 2nd maybe like 15 laps ago. Not even. And he's back to 9th and possibly outside of the top 10 in a minute. He's got his teammate, 2 teammates on his back bumper. And they're going to both get around him. That 20 car. Man, he is struggling. This is the worst I've seen Sean struggle all season. Ashton Miller trying to get 6th away from Stacy.
Rich Cherry in that 29, he may have started way back in the field, but he's a little bit slow, but as some people know, slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Here's the 4th ETR car in line. They're kind of all running by themselves. You got Tobin in 9th, Wilkin 10th, Rowe in 11th, Hillquich in 13th. Here is Ashton Miller and Rich Cherry as well, trying to follow in line behind and side by side with Andrew Stacy. We're still early days in this race, still a long ways to go as in the stage as well. We would, though, expect a green flag pit stop in this first half. We don't get a caution anytime soon. Open to the outside of Cherry here. Great. Oh, Cherry going to slide up the racetrack. Tobin will be there. Andrew Stacy gets loose out of these two guys. They might actually get split 3 wide down the front straightaway. In the wall a little bit goes Tobin. Stacy
flies up here. That's the open goal for Cherry.
And Cherry back at the bottom side by side as they head down the back stretch again, door to door between these two. Stacy on that outside lane. Cherry trying to race him tight on the inside. Rowe is back to 15th. Just got passed by CJ Erdman. Was 2nd on this same exact run. Sean Rowe is absolutely one of the slowest cars on the racetrack right now. Side by side, Tobin to the outside of Andrew Stacy again, door to door down the backstretch. And he's going to get clear. Stacy going to fall back to 9th. Still having not a bad run at all for him. Side by side here between Sean Hillquich trying to break inside the top 11 and the 97 of Axel Smith. Also got Aiden Holes running in 13th behind him. Hillquich is clear. Looking towards the front of the field, still about 7/10 of a second the gap up front. Cameron Chandler leading. Oh, he's in the wall a little bit down the front straightaway. That's definitely not going to help him. Matthew White in tow chasing behind him. You got Aiden Donahue now, your pole sitter running in 3rd. It's the Hunsicker machine in 4th. Bryce Benton 5th. Miller, Cherry, Tobin, Stacy, and Wilkin your top 10. On lap 38 here at the Rock.
Looking at Kim Chandler and Matthew White's top 2 Matthew White is running 3 to 4 hundredths faster than his last couple of laps. So it looks like he's gaining a bit of ground here on the A car.
I have an issue here with Jacob Whale.
I just saw him coming
maybe
off the pit road.
that ball.
Oh, he's got damage on that front end. That thing is, that wheel is not turning. He came into this race on the chase cut line, just below it. And here he comes to pit road. He has damage on that front end. Here on lap 40. And he's going to try to bring him to his pit stall to try to make some repairs. This is exactly what he did not need to see. They'll come to 40 laps complete this time by. Cameron Chandler has led them all. Even though Aiden Donahue started on pole, he got an awful restart, or awful initial start, I should say. I don't know what happened to Aiden. He fell back multiple spots, gained a couple now. He's currently running in 3rd. They're watching Hunsicker in 4th. Still working a bit of damage.
Oh, Sean ran very loose, almost spun out there.
I got to look back here. He's running behind CJ Irvin in 15th. Yeah, awful pace right now for Sean Rowe. He is, oh, he's in the wall. Big time in the, again, oh my goodness. Sean Rowe. He is really, really struggling.
Sean Rowe's coming in this time. It looks like he's going to pit this time. Probably got the tires Mustang. This car is not moving at all. I just come to pit road.
Yeah, this is just not at all what Sean Rowe needed. Came into this race 2nd in points, battling for the points lead. Nearly hits the pit barrels there coming up pit road. Man, what a disappointment for
He
the
actually
20.
did hit the pit rails, I think.
He might, I don't know, he might have just barely scraped them. And he sees the leaders come around to lap him. This is just, and Jake Quill also, I believe he's repairing his damage as well. Here comes Rowe to pit road. He might have to repair a bit of damage and might fall a couple of laps down even. Here he comes to his pit stall. Look at tires, just not at all what he needed to see today. Cameron Chandler yet again comes across the line for lap 45.
All right, Spencer to the inside of 77 Hunter. He's trying to get fourth here. It's still a little side by side. Rich Cherry and Ashton Miller coming to the battle.
Oh, Hunsicker is loose!
Sideways.
Brandon
He's gonna
Hunsicker.
save it.
Oh man, what a save at the inside lane. My goodness, there's Cherry to the bottom as well of the 9 of Bryce Benton. These cars have been sideways like an old school race here at Rockingham, this old worn out surface. Beautiful day, also sun is out, the track is hot. And here is the 79 of Miller back on the bumper of Cherry, and Hunsicker falls back to 7th. Looking at Sean Rowe real quick, he is still on pit road, trying to repair that damage. Same thing with Jacob Quayle. This is going to be night over for the win, at least for Sean Rowe. He is very lucky that this field is the smallest we've had all season.
We now have a full-weight battle here for 10th. Twin Milken hit the wall last time by in turn 1. Let guys like Andrew Stacy and Ashton Smith get into the battle here.
Yeah, this also got Sean Hilquich behind. This is kind of a mess. A little bit down the backstretch they go. They're all over each other. Sean Hilquich around the outside of Andrew Stacy. Also got Axel Smith there on the low side of the 12 of Trenton Wilkin. Drive it deep into 1 and 2. It's a little bit tight. Has to back out of the gas there. Goes back to the bottom. Wilkin got to be careful to keep out of the wall. Oh, man. Oh, Wilkin on the wall again. Oh. Well, he rides the wall back into 3 and... Oh, my goodness. Well, that's damage now for Trenton Wilkin. Oh, what is he doing?
Oh, my.
What is he doing?
Lost his steering here.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's lost his steering. His right front tire is off.
Oh, that's it. That's it for Trenton Wilkin. Wow. Unbelievable. Unreal. Pfeiffer had an issue as well. I'm not really sure. There he is. He just fell a lap down. He's in the wall. A lot of drivers are struggling all of a sudden. But it's a hot day here at Rockingham. These cars' tires are worn out already.
He's at the Matthew White here for a second.
Yeah, Aiden Donahue got to run down the front straightaway. And the 2 ETR cars of Trenton Wilkin and Sean Rowe, exactly what they did not need to see. Trenton Wilkin will not finish this race. Piper now goes a lap down. Man. I mean, this is just what happens. This track is so worn out. Tires. Oh, Matthew White in the wall!
They're side by side.
Door to door down the front straightaway for second place. Donahue on the inside. Donahue on the inside lane of that 7 car. Back into 1 and 2 they go. Donahue gonna push him up the racetrack. Back through 1 and 2. And White's actually gonna get re-clear of him. I gotta look back here real quick. You got Ashton Miller there looking to the inside of the 29 of Cherry. You got Bryce Benton. They're all sliding around. This track is slick. My God. I mean, the most experienced veterans are having issues. Here's the 77 of Braden Hunsicker.
Donahue with the run here. Now he's side by side. Matthew White got a little loose there. Might be able to get a slide drop here.
It's allowing Cameron Chandler to just pull away. Here is Donahue working the back bumper of that 7 car. He's going to look into his inside, maybe going to be on his bumper down the front straightaway.
I know Aiden Donahue's quicker, it's just the fact of passing him. If he can't, it's hard to pass on the bottom here, so Donahue can find a way to just get to the high side. We're going to do is run off a corner for a slide drop.
3 and 4, and of course this is going to be detrimental points for Trenton Wilkin with the chase. He was right on the cut line, or he's right below the cut line there, really 14th. He's going to fall back. Also got to think about a guy like Sean Rowe, of course. Now he's still on pit road, I believe. Let me check real quick. There's the 20 of 14 of Jacob Quill.
Very tight and slow here in turn 2.
Oh,
That is not good.
let's see where that is. There is Piper. He's on the bottom. He might be coming to pit road this time by. But leave real quick. Oh, Rowe is disconnected. Oh my goodness. That's now his day over. I mean, he came into this race not expecting much, and clearly that's coming true. Conrad really gets put a lap down here. Here's the 7 of Matthew White back into 3 and 4. Still holding on to second place with Aiden Donahue chasing him behind him. So they'll go to the outside of Havarillo, who probably will just let them go as a lap car. Stacy is now falling a lap down. Not really sure what happened to him. You got Andrew Stacy actually on pit road. Here he comes. One of your first leaders to inside the top 15 to actually pit. So will this force the hand of somebody? Jerry Earl's off pit road. Work Coach Goodyear tires.
With how bad these drivers have been losing on these corners, they could run the potential of getting a flat tire, like what they call in iRacing a meatball flag, where they have to come down pit road if their tire is blunt. So maybe that could have happened at Andrew Stacy, so this could have been a strategy for him.
Well, see, it seems a little bit early if you think about it. There he is on pit road. He's going to be, you even can see the speed difference, how much more that thing is just flying compared to the other cars that haven't pitted yet in this race. This is actually kind of funny.
Hey, Donnie in trouble off too. As soon as he got sideways, he lost momentum down.
Coming to lap 60 this time by at the Rock. Cameron Chandler has led all the laps so far. Got a 1.5 second lead on Matthew White. It's really good, and it's starting to lap up inside of the top 15 to CJ Erdman next. We saw Sean Rowe hit the wall. Trenton Wilk and his teammate also hit the wall. ETR has been struggling today. Their best runner right now is Davy Tobin in 8th. Still got Sean Hokish inside the top 10. That'd be a great finish for him. I mean, you think about this race, it's one of these you think about there would be a lot of attrition. Just how the characteristic of the racetrack is. It's so hard to drive here. It's a pretty hot day as well. These tires are very slick. They wear out quickly. Long green flag runs as well, like we're seeing right now. It could be a race of attrition. You got to just keep your car clean all day long.
Andrew Stacy's over a 1.5 seconds quicker a lap, so if any of these maybe top 10 pit, they'll probably force Cameron Chandler and these leads to come down. If anybody inside top 10 comes with how much time this lap time spent.
Here's Cherry trying to chase. Oh, Cherry loose down the front straightaway. He will let Ashton Miller go and fall back in the line. Miller up to 5th place now. Benton currently runs in 4th. Drivers just trying to hang on to it, I feel like. Some of them at least. But Cameron Chandler's looked pretty nice out in front. Hit the wall maybe once, but other than that, he's looked pretty steady on the wheel all day long. This is kind of his style of race. He's very good at tracks like this, like Dover also. Like these kind of racetracks, these kind of races, Cameron Chandler definitely shines in. You're seeing that tonight.
Like Hunsinger's really struggling now with how old these tires are. He's fell back to 9th, so we'll see maybe if it's time for a pit stop, but also running getting close to the end of the stage, maybe these guys will stay down. Andrew Stacy could be forced to be a lap down and try to get his points laps back so he has to get back in the lead lap.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think they can make it to the end on fuel. We have about just over 15 laps to go, 17 to go this time by in the stage. First lap 10 will get stage once. This would be huge for Cameron Chandler to pull away on Sean Rowe. He was coming close. I mean, over these last maybe 2 months or so, he's been coming close. Ashton Miller gets loose down the front straightaway to taking the points lead away from that 8 car of Cameron Chandler, but this is definitely going to hurt Sean Rowe's experience now. He probably would fall back a couple of spots on the points, I would think, at least, after coming to this race second. That's just how close it is at the top. And you got guys like Cameron Chandler, Matthew White, and Donnie Bryce Benson, Ashton Miller running out front that are really close to Sean Rowe. In points, that is. And Cameron Chandler is...
Axel Smith on the pit road.
Oh, Axel Smith! Oh, loose on the pit road. Really wrecks the race car. CJ Airman just got lapped. He is very slow down to 1 and 2. I think he is struggling with those tires. I mean, Andrew Stacy and guys like this would have to hope that the leaders ultimately all pit. They don't want to be tracked a lap down. And then with the tire disadvantage as well. Axel's getting service on pit road. You still got Jacob Quayle. He would gain a couple of positions here if he got back on the racetrack because some other drivers have, of course, retired. There's Hunsicker now battling.
Hunsiker's been about half a second off from most of the field as Sean Hillquist now comes in. You also got to worry, well, is there a chance that maybe Cameron Chandler, how slow Braden Hunsicker is, get him a lap down?
Yeah, I mean, Cameron isn't that. He's maybe a straightaway just over that, maybe a straightaway and a half away with 12 to go in the stage here. Battle for second start heat up again between Matthew White and Aiden Donahue.
Looks like a battle here for fourth. You're going to share the inside.
There's Ashton Miller as well. Bryce Benton actually lost the spot to Miller. Cherry at the bottom. But Benton looking to maybe lose 2 spots. Almost contact as they will slide down the front straightaway. So Cameron Chandler extending his gap to now 2.3 seconds. So I don't think, I'm not exactly sure because they had a couple of cautions to be able to save. I don't think Cameron Chandler and the leaders can make it, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. Like I said, Avarillo on pit road now. A lot of drivers are forcing their hands here, but not anyone from the top 5 yet.
Hunsicker on the wall.
Yeah, he is struggling. There he is, side by side with Sean Hillquist.
He's gonna let him go.
Oh, Hillquist's gonna slide back up the racetrack though. Hunsicker on the bottom. Here down the back straightaway.
As we got a battle now for second. Donahue's back on the back bumper with Matthew White here.
Matthew's struggling. He's loose. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Donahue, who's inside. Been under green for over 50 laps now. So these tires are definitely worn out. It's hot. It's slick. These drivers are driving these race cars to the limits. Donahue got loose back on the bottom. Still not any leaders hitting this time by. Damian Tobin, got to give a shout out to him, currently running in 7th. I mean, he's seen some chaos all around him, gotten through it, all of it. So far, he's running P7 right now looking for stage points, so it's right now on the chase cut line. Just below that.
Hamlin's running about 8/10 quicker a lap compared to Hunsicker, so up now is 7 laps to go. Can he get there?
Yeah, Braden's got to be, I mean, he would get the free pass if Cameron Chandler didn't go to lap the 30 of Hillquist, but he definitely wants to stay in the lead lap. Not have to risk all that. Cameron coming to 6 to go this time by in the stage. Will he be able to make it on fuel? Looks maybe like he can.
As if Andrew States fresh tires here, he could get closer to CJ Erman for the free pass, as also he's on fresh tires, and honestly, he's not too far back with 6 to go.
Yeah, I mean, fresh tires are... Oh, we got Aiden Donahue loose down the front straightaway. Here's Avarillo, another driver on fresh tires. That pitted. And there is Bryce Benton lapping the 94 of Erdman. Yeah, Erdman is very off the pace now.
5 to go here within the stage. Cameron Chandler with a huge. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. That stage locked up here.
So you just look at the tire difference, Avarillo on the inside of Matthew White. Matthew's been so much quicker than that 50 car on normal pace all day long, but Avarillo just going to sail down to the corner and drive off for a minute. I thought he would have more grip, but whatever. you see the point.
Andrew Stacy just passed CJ Erman for the free pass, so caution or get finish out the stage. Stacy right now has a free pass.
Of course, that is his clear high teammate. In a long run, we're coming to 3 to go in this stage. Cameron Chandler is close to Braden Hunsicker. 3 to go, will he lap him? That's the question. Or actually, yeah, 3 to go. The top 10 still have to start across the start-finish line, and Hunsicker's actually 10th. So, I mean, Yeah, gonna be interesting. Oh, he's gonna slide up the racetrack back into 3 and 4. And here comes Chandler on the inside lane. This is not what Andrew Stacy wants to see. Ilkwich is kind of in the distance, 4 seconds out. Oh, contact!
Oh, contact!
In the wall hard!
Oh.
Goes Braden Hunsicker. From the fresher tires in the middle of the 50 of Havarilla. Hunsicker gets loose and in the wall!
In the wall! No!
2 to go in this stage.
Hunsicker.
Yeah, he's got damage now. He's gonna have his major issues all of a sudden. Just trying to hold on.
Actually, it's a ride around this fence stage here.
Final lap of the stage in Rockingham. Cameron Chandler dominant in the first half. Nobody has been able to touch him. He heads down the back straightaway. Gonna be 10 stage points here for the 8 car.
Just needs to be fast enough to Andrew Stacy. As Stacy is behind Richard Ferry, which is in 5th. So as long as Braden Hunsinger probably has about half a straightaway on Andrew Stacy can hang on.
Cameron Chandler wins the stage. Matthew White will finish 2nd. Donahue 3rd across the line. Miller is going to be in 4th here. Shearing is going to finish in 5th of the stage. Davy and Tobin, good stage points. Actually, best Bryce Benson for 6th. 7th Benson, 8th Holes. Good, ultimately good finish overall. And Sean Hillquist will come across the line at 9th. That's to be the caution. And there's the caution. All right. Caution is out. A halfway break in Rockingham. Very interesting first half. We had 2 early yellows, and then we went green for, what, like 65 laps after that. Cameron Chandler led them all. A lot of drivers probably very happy to get tires on the race cars. I don't know if Cameron wants to see this yellow, though. He looks very comfortable out in front. So, I mean, guys like Urban, Havarilla, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe Stacey can take the wave around. It's going to be interesting. Those guys would have to hope for a caution. They're going to be trapped a lap down maybe, though. Hunsicker would get the free pass. He should be able to do that, I think. But he's got damage, remember. Here come your leaders to pit road. With a halfway break in Rockingham. Very long green flag run. You saw what happens. 65 laps basically under green.
As Bryce Benson's out of fuel.
Oh, that is
Very
not what he
slow
wants to
pit
see.
road.
Oh man, that is unfortunate. I think
Hey,
Sean. Oh wow, good
I think
buddy here, Sean Hillquich. He's got a. Bryce Benson has to buy Sean Hillquich dinner after this race. Here come your leaders to pit road. He's gonna lose some track position though, Bryce. For fresh, get your tires as much fuel as you can get in that thing as well. Maybe a bit of damage.
I don't think Bryce Benson would have made it back to his pit stall if he didn't get the help from Sean Hillquich here. So big help from Sean Hillquich there, or else he probably would have been multiple laps down.
Matthew White, a terrible pit stop, lost a bunch of positions here off pit road. Braden Hunsicker, I believe, gets the free pass, I think. Bryce Benson, yeah, he's got to thank Sean Hillquich. They're not even teammates, so a great move there by the driver of the 30 car. Very good competitor. Aiden Hole's also not the greatest of stops. I was surprised they would just let him go here, but he's not. He's that kind of competitor. I mean, you don't have to let him go, obviously, but Bryce is a very competitive guy no matter what. All right. With a halfway break, like I said, at the Rock. So Braden Hunsicker still has that damage. Guys like Andrew Stacy are hoping for caution. Same thing with CJ Erdman, Connor Havarilla. Axel Smith is currently 10 laps down for some reason. Jacob Quayle, not exactly sure if he's back on the racetrack. If he would get on the track.
I'm not sure if Donahue got a penalty or not. He's letting everybody by. I think Donahue might got a penalty.
Yeah. Trying to look here. Donahue came off 2nd. Oh my god, yeah, that's not what you want to see at all for Aiden Donahue. Luckily, not the most amount of cars in the lead lap right now, so it shouldn't be awful. But that is still not what you want to see if you're an 82 fan. Gonna have to restart, I believe, 10th maybe. One of the shoes this time by here in Rockingham. See how the second half of this race looks. Maybe we'll get the same kind of thing where we have a long green flag run. Maybe we'll get some cautions. We'll see. All right, Cameron Chandler goes. Obviously, go stop. Miller's going to take the front row here. Aiden Donahue, not what he wants to see. he hasn't had, I don't think I would call it bad luck this season. Is Hunsicker going to stay in the lead lap and actually repaired a good amount of damage? The toe is still a little bit knocked out, but you got to stay in the lead lap and then hope for cautions if you're Braden Hunsicker. So we're going to restart in lap 86 for the second half of this race in Rockingham. Matthew White, like we said, bad pit stop. He's going to restart in 4th on the bottom. Cameron Chandler will lead him off yet again. Hasn't not led a lap all day. See if that continues. On lap 86. All right. Ashton Miller going to be on the inside on the front row for the first time all day. We'll see what his Showtime Motorsports car can do as we come to start the second half of the race here in Rockingham. Back to green. What a restart. My God. Cameron Chandler is gone, and down to the inside. Yeah, look at 3 wide on the bottom. Doesn't work for the 7 of Matthew White. They're side-by-side still for second. Cherry in the outside of Miller. They're going to be door-to-door. Almost a little bit loose moment there for Miller. Cherry actually gets the P2. Here comes White around the outside of that 79 car Miller. And he was going to clear it. Now Matthew White trying to look to the outside of Cherry. Also got Bryce Benson back there as well. And Cameron Chandler is another great restart. Here is a crossover down the inside for Matthew White and Cherry. For P2. Easily gets that spot. Now try to chase down your leader, Cameron Chandler. And here's Bryce Benton. Benton to the inside of Cherry. He's going to clear his teammate for 3rd. Davian Tobin up the racetrack. Here he is on Ashton Miller. Miller restarted 2nd. He's going to be back to 6th here. Just a couple of laps. And here's Aiden Holes to his inside. Aiden Donahue trying to drive his way through the field again. That hasn't gained any spots yet. Now he gets one on Aiden Holes. Here's Tobin to the inside of Cherry for 4th. How about that? Davian Tobin's highlight of the season was leading laps in Atlanta. He's been okay. He's been a top 15 contender all year, but running in 4th now. Wow. Donahue to the outside of his teammate, Ashton Miller, going to try to make a crossover down to the inside here. Side by side down the back straightaway. Here's Donahue, his teammate. Miller lets him go. Miller back to 7th after restarting in 2nd place. Aiden Holes now trying to battle with him. Got Andrew Stacey, the lap car, with love of caution right this second. Aiden Holes going to pass Ashton Miller. Miller's back to 9th. Great. And out front, 1.3 seconds already the gap for Cameron Chandler. This 8 car is very impressive. But a 70 to go this time by. Matthew White actually has a bit of a battle here between him and Bryce Benson. Cameron Chandler just kind of in the league of his own. Still looking for that first win of the year. Is today finally the day for your points leader? Here's Bryce Benson to the inside of first 2nd on Matthew White. Really good start to the second half of the 9. Of course, 3 wins already this season. These are the 2 drivers with most wins this season. Matthew, of course, has 2. Bryce won the Daytona 500. He also won Sonoma and Atlanta. Sonoma probably should have gone to Matthew White until the second half happens. Here's Benson to the outside almost for 2nd. Side by side for P2 back into 1 and 2. Bryce Benson around the outside, looking to make it a Team Chevy Motor Club 1-2 running order, and he will just do that. Matthew White back to 3rd. He's got Davian Tobin now. What a run this 65 car has had all day long, and currently running the best he's run all day in 4th. Maybe battling for 3rd with your Season 1 Cup Series champion, Matthew White. But a 2-second lead right now for the 8 car of Cameron Chandler. Absolutely flying away. I mean, there's no... It's back to Bryce Benson back here. He only restarted about, what, like 10 laps ago? And that's the gap already.
The only way you can beat Cameron Chandler here is off the pit stop strategy, because he is flying away, and it's not even close. The only way you can beat him is off pit strategy. That's the only chance we got, maybe a lucky yellow.
Yeah, Cameron's been victim of some late yellows in his career, especially in the Cup Series. Davian Tobin gets loose here down the back straightaway. He's going to have Rich Cherry back on his bumper. Tobin one of the rookies in this field, the highest running rookie right now in 4th. Here comes Cherry, though, looking around the outside. Cherry on the bottom, side by side with Tobin. Actually gets back in line. So okay, Aiden Donahue back there in 6th as well. Ashton Miller currently runs 8th. Sean Hilkich in 9th. Here comes Donahue now looking to the outside of Cherry in the 29 car. Oh, he gets loose. Donahue looking to the inside for 5th. Trying to break inside of the top 5 after his pit road speeding penalty. At the stage, Donahue, Cherry goes way up the racetrack and will lose the spot maybe to Aiden Holes as well.
Got to lift there.
Cherry back to what is now 7th. Ashton Miller going to try to get to his number as well. These two have kind of been with each other, Miller and Cherry, all day long, I feel like. All right, Cameron Chandler now driving off nearly to 3 seconds. The biggest gap he's had all race. My goodness. This 8 car is so fast. He's found something that nobody else has found today.
Want to catch up? Yeah, Braden Hudson in the lap. Down, just still inside of top 10 after all this. So Hudson's going to hang on to the top 10. He'll take it any day of the week as far as car looks like right now.
Well, he's the last car in the lead lap right now. Got the free pass, and he's way off the pace anyway. Still, he might get lapped. He's about to get lapped. So he needs a caution to come to lap 100. With Cameron Chandler, he needs a caution right this second. This 77 car is way off the pace. I mean, outside of Cameron, it's polar opposite days for the top 3 in points. Sean Rowe crashes out early. Then you got Hunsicker with these major issues. They were, of course, 2nd and 3rd in points, but your points leader, Cameron Chandler, has been absolutely untouchable at the front of the field today. Here's Aiden Donahue up the racetrack. Aiden Holes now battling with Cherry. Actually right along with Donahue down the back straightaway. Trying to chase in the tire tracks of Davy and Tobin to go way outside through 3 and 4. Got a run coming bottom. Gonna make a crossover move back for the inside for 4th place. Side by side down back stretch as they go. Tobin, though, good momentum and will re-clear Aiden Donahue. Braden Hunsicker again. He is just so off the pace in the 77. I mean, he hit the wall there at the end of the stage. That's kind of what hurt him the most. Just trying to ride around. He is way off the pace, though. He's very, very slow. That thing cannot even turn, it looks like. That he is struggling so badly right now here in Rockingham. Right along with Aiden Donahue as he was trying to chase down Tobin. He's got Chris Cherry in his mirror. Abby and Tobin no ahead. Riding with the back end of Tobin. Aiden Donahue, of course, so many Cup Series career wins in his career. 3rd on the all-time list behind Aiden Walker and Matthew White. Former Grand National Series champion, leads the all-time Grand National Series wins list. Trying to chase down a rookie that has never won in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League, Davy and Tobin. 4 seconds the gap. Cameron Chandler is in a league of his own. I mean, Matthew was able to keep pace in the first half, but oh my goodness. The gap to him and his teammate Bryce Benton is now 4 seconds. We still have 55 laps to go here at the Rock. Here is Aiden Donahue to the inside of Davy and Tobin. Side by side down the back straight where they go. Tobin around the outside, though, will get clear on him. Aiden, of course, started on pole today. Just lost the lead on lap number 1. So it has not been the day ever since having that speeding penalty at the stage. Just looking to get a little bit of a rebound. Still running inside of the top 5, though. But would have expected more at a track he's so good at. Of course, these guys all head to Pocono next week, the Tricky Triangle. We got a door-to-door battle. Andrew Stacy's still trapped a lap down. He is now the free pass car, though. Side by side with the lead lap car, Sean Hillfoot, who's having a good day in 9th. Definitely needs this kind of run for Sean. 4.1 seconds the gap. Cameron Chandler. I don't even have any words. This is the largest gap we've seen all week. Here's Donahue trying the outside through 3 and 4 on Tobin. Tobin gets a little bit loose, going to slide up the racetrack. The veteran Donahue back to his inside. Side by side door even with each other. Back into 1 and 2. Ooh, Tobin, got to be careful not to hit the wall. They've been doing a lot better than that than the Grand National drivers last night. Let's be honest. As they head back into 3 and 4, Donahue again still cannot find a way around the 65 of Tobin.
We are getting close to the field one. Field one is good for now, but the only way for these guys to beat Cameron Chandler is to pit maybe like 5-10 laps earlier than he does. Because now it looks like everybody's about a second off their original pace and start. So if any of these guys, like maybe a guy like Sean Hillquich in 9th, Ashton Miller in 8th, who's fallen off since we saw 8 holes, these guys maybe could think about an idea of maybe pit next maybe 5 laps to have a tire advantage to try to get in front of Cameron Chandler, but we'll see.
Yeah, 50 laps to go here at Rockingham, and Cameron Chandler, like you said, I don't think it's possible for him to be passed under a normal run. I mean, you see it. He is just absolutely in a league of his own. Probably the most dominant I've ever seen Cameron in the Cup Series. You had this dominance. I mean, this is a good time to have this dominance. This is his 1-year anniversary, 1 calendar year anniversary of his Season 3 Grand National Series Championship. As here we go side by side between Tobin. Yeah, Tobin actually backs out of this position. He lets Donahue go in, lets Sherry go as well. And he's got 8 holes to his inside. Tobin lose 3 spots in 1 lap. Back to 7th. Not exactly sure what happened there. But anyways, on Chandler, won his Grand National Series Championship a year ago today, to the date. And this is exactly what the kind of run he wanted to celebrate his anniversary with. Looking like the dominant self he was back in Grand National. He was full-time there. We have 2 Grand National Series champions, the first 2 Grand National champions in that series of history. Aiden Donahue, Cameron Chandler in the field right now. Cole Wilson, the other one, the last season's champion. Of course, he's still full-time in Grand National. Already in his 4th full-time season there. I don't know when he's ever going to move up to the Cup Series. He's been in the league for God knows how many years. It's just hasn't ever sniffed full-time Cup. Hunsinger goes another lap down. With this, he's even losing positions. He's about to lose another spot to Amarilla. I mean, it's not like he's just being put laps down. He's losing spots while doing that. He is so slow. Davy and Tobin really loose. Down the back straightaway. Had to hang on to that thing. Here's Ashton Miller on his bumper as well. Battling now for 7th. Miller in the second half of the race fell back from 2nd to 8th. He's been quiet ever since. Running back there. I'm not really sure. Just doesn't have any pace. Maybe trying to save. But battling now for 7th. Here he is to the inside of Tobin. Here's Aiden Holes to the outside. What a run, Aiden Holes. Career day in 6th place. He is showing that he belongs, battling with guys like Richard Cherry and Aiden Donahue. His 42 car is no joke. Cherry runs him way at the racetrack back into 3 and 4. I don't think he was expecting that. As here is Miller trying to battle here with Tobin again. Tobin, the highest running UTR car in 7th. Here he is down to the inside. On Ashton Miller on Davy and Tobin. Door to door down the back straight over they go for 7th. Tobin going to try to keep momentum around the outside lane, but Miller going to get clear on him. Oh, but he gets sideways a little bit down the front straightaway. Here comes Tobin back to his inside. Might actually just back out of it now and let Ashton Miller drive off. Tobin was 4th, actually battling for 3rd. not so long ago. Now he's back to a longer pace in that 65 car. Definitely not the greatest. The gap now 4.8 seconds as we got Braden Hunsicker on pit road. Will he call it quits? I don't really know. I mean, he would still lose more spots because he got Gary Smith 28 laps down, but he still is on the racetrack. I believe Braden just getting tires. Our smallest field, so of the Cup Series season by far, here at Rockingham tonight, and most amount of cars we've had on the lap, most amount of cars we've had a lap down. I mean, in a race. So definitely good news for Hunsicker in that category. This is definitely the kind of race you would want to have these issues. I mean, you obviously don't want to have the issues at all, but if you have to choose a race, this would be the one. Where not a ton of cars show up or can race or own the track, and there's a lot of attrition as well. All right, 49 laps to go. I mean, Eli, if you would have to predict, when do you think we would see your leaders start to hit pit road?
I honestly have no clue. As Andrew stays on pit road from the lap down, I think if I'm Cameron Chandler, as soon as one of these guys in the top 5 pit, I pit the next lap or two, because you don't want to afford to lose time with tires. But if you're one of these guys, like a Richard Cherry, that maybe hasn't had the chance of coming to winning pace, maybe come down like the next lap or two to get tires, just to wing it, see if you have the opportunity to have it pace, and hopefully tires can help you out.
Of course, Cherry won the truck race this week, so we know he has pace here at Rockingham. Currently runs in 5th. Behind Aiden Donahue in 4th.
Also, another strategy could be someone decides to stay out the whole time and try to run it off field. I just saw Bryce Pinson stayed around field, so field's very close. But if these guys wanted to take the risk of staying out the rest of the thing, maybe getting a late race caution, we'll see.
Yeah, field window, like you said, it's very close to what the stage was, about 70 or something laps. So and they were able to. They didn't have any cautions this time to save though. That's the thing, like they did in the first half.
As I say that, looks as Abby Tobin said, I think he's coming in at this time. The first guy coming in at lap 125.
Tobin definitely a little bit struggling a little bit with those tires. So we'll see him on pit road this time by. Or maybe not. Yep, here he goes. And make sure you don't speed. Having a good run. Oh, that's exactly like I said, you make sure you don't speed. Locking up the tires like that is not a great sign that he was going the speed limit. Dabby and Tobin, first car inside of the top 10, coming to pit road for service. Of course, you don't want to caution right now if you're a guy like Tobin, because you'd be trapped a lap down at least.
Usually if one comes in, so Domino starts to follow. Oh, you guys pit, so can we see maybe a Sean Hilkovich that's has a not the greatest day so far, but he's the top 10, but it launched at the lead lap cars, but we see him coming early. We'll see. If I'm Bryce Benson here, great day in P2, but if you want to beat the 8 car Cameron Chandler, you have to come soon.
Rich Cherry is having a blinking fest right now. Aiden Holes is pitting in the 42. So one of the cars that's closer to the top 5 coming to pit road. Aiden's had a great day, probably the best run he's had all season long. Only race I feel like he's been in the top 10 that I can remember at least. Here's Tobin, you see him fresh tires with your leader, Cameron Chandler.
Cameron Chandler gets... Yeah, you can see the tire difference is just outstanding, how much the tire difference can be as he's pulling away from Cameron Chandler.
Cameron's coming to lap 130 this time by. That'll be with 31 laps to go here at the Rock. See if anyone comes this time by. Looks like everybody from at least the top 5 staying out. Miller stays out as well. Hilfich's going to also stay out. The fuel cycle is underway, slowly but surely here at the Rock. Cherry is on the bumper of Aiden Donahue for 4th. Way up the racetrack with green for almost the wall, ever so slightly. Hit that. That'll lose him some momentum. Of course, catch NASCAR iRacing FedEx lobbies tomorrow night, starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. At the end of this race, during post-race coverage, we'll be going over the schedule for tomorrow night. Lobbies week 41. Back yet again. 5.2 seconds to gap. The car on pit road, I gotta see who it is. Oh, it's still Braden Hunsaker on pit road again. 5.2 seconds to gap. What a car that 8 car is. Bryce Benson has some pressure from Matthew White now for second place. Benson also
Cameron over a second and a half in the lead. Cameron Taylor.
That just shows what tires do here. It's unbelievable. Reminds me of like a track like Richmond's. Just the amount of tire difference in it. Maybe in Atlanta as well. Our version of Atlanta, not NASCAR's version, where it's repaved. Toby goes around the outside of Andrew Stacey. That was actually, I believe, wasn't poor position. Stacey's 2 laps down because he pitted again. Unfortunately for Stacey, he got trapped the lap down. Hasn't been able to recover since. Shade now on this racetrack.
First guy on fresh tires, 8 holes. He one in front of him. 8 holes, there's no one in front of him. This is a ground team for 8 holes. The first guy on fresh tires to put down some laps as he has won 24 ones, and your leader, Cameron Trans, 25 threes.
That is a big difference. But I would assume we would see your leaders on pit road at some point. We're clicking down the laps even more. We haven't had any cautions in this first half, and then the second half, I should say, for them to save any fuel like they did in the first half. That's why they, I think, made it. It's still very close, but we've seen already some cars on pit road. I would expect to see more before this race is up. I think while nothing's going on, at least for now, I think this is an okay time to go to Crank It Up from Rockingham. Here's Donahue to the inside of the 7 of Matthew White for third. White's been struggling a little bit, hit the wall down the front straightaway a couple of laps ago, and Donahue is on his bumper. Oh, White again gets tight off corner exit. That 7 car, Pace kind of started to drop out of that thing. Will Matthew White eventually pit? We'll see. Haven't seen anyone come to pit road from the lead in a little bit. Or from the lead lap, I mean. We always could get a caution in this first second half. We haven't had one in the second half at all. The last caution for incident was lap 20, or lap 15, I believe. It was 125 laps ago. So it's definitely been a while. You never know. Chandler, 5.3 seconds. The lead doesn't want to see a caution whatsoever. Here we go. The sun is now very much out after a bit of shade. Only got 19 to go this time by.
Sun's now off pit road.
Right, just trying to finish the race. If this was any other race in the Cup Series this season, he would have finished outside the top 20 easily. Luckily for him, there's not a lot of cars in Rockingham, so he got kind of lucky there. Somebody passing him here. He's 8 holes.
If these guys do decide to pit, which at this point, I mean, it looks like they're going to ride it out, see if they have enough fuel. If they all pit based off. Usually most of these guys are 2 laps down. Aiden Knowles will take the lead. And how much time he has gained compared to everybody else and how long he's down. But
hang on, sorry, Eli.
That was close.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so.
It seems like these guys are staying out.
Yeah, but remember, Bryce Benson ran out of fuel after we've been saving someone 2 cautions in the first half. Ran out of fuel on pit road, so who knows? You'd be probably cutting it very, very close. That means only 1 pit stop in this race for these leaders, which is kind of insane at this kind of racetrack. Obviously, if there's a caution right now, they all come to pit road anyways, and that would be the end of that, but I haven't seen the caution for incident in 130 laps. And 3 cautions today, 2 for cause, 1 for the stage. Aiden Knowles still looking at those fresh tires, just driving around your leaders. To get himself on laps here. Eventually. Matthew White again, a little bit struggling here. Also got Davy and Tobin side by side with Miller. This is not in 4th position. Tobin, of course, another one of those drivers with fresh tires. And here comes Donahue, looking to take 3rd place away. He gets loose again down the front straightaway. These cars slipping and sliding around late in the race here at Rockingham tonight. It's been a fun race. We've had some good battles, but Cameron Chandler has just been lights out and dominant at the front of the field. White loose again. Here comes Donahue to the inside for 3rd. Still cannot make the pass happen on Matthew White. Great Huntsicker, look at the, oh my God, look at the fresh tires. Donahue has to move out of the way because it looks like Brayton Huntsicker is driving a Formula 1 car right now. How much fresher those tires are. Got all of his damage repaired as well. It is crazy. I mean, it almost looks like Huntsicker is like in an Indy car, and these are in obviously these are NASCAR stock cars. That's what it almost looks like. Can they all make it to the end on fuel? It's going to be so close. Remember Bryce Benson, he's running 2nd right now. Doesn't want to run out of fuel again. That's the exact opposite thing he wants to do here. Contact, almost, I thought it was contact between Kogan. This is actually for position between Cheery and Miller. Like you said, P5. Tobin is just getting his laps back on those fresh tires. Back into 3 and 4 they go. Only 10 laps to go at Rockingham. Head back into 1 and 2 side by side for the final spot inside of the top 5. Cheery around the outside gets, oh! Man, that was almost a collision. I think they're both going to back out of it there. At least Cheery does. He gives his spot up to Ashton Miller. Cheery obviously not full time. Most of the guys that are in the field right now are full time. Only 2 drivers not in the field that aren't full time is Knox Thompson filling in for John Butler and of course Richard Cheery. He's full time in Grand National. Matthew White is blinking again. Here comes Aiden Donahue who's inside. Gotta be careful here. The blinking race car. You can see Aiden moving over closely to the inside. Doesn't want to cause any sort of incident there.
If he wants to, go inside the cockpit, Cameron Chandler. He is slowing down a lot. As you look at the entrance to Forest every corner, he is holding the clutch in.
I looked at the intervals. We can hear it. He is desperately trying to save. Oh my goodness. Coming to 7 to go this time by. Bryce Benson has half this lead to 2.3 seconds. Now Tobin to the inside of Chandler. This won't make things any better. 7 to go. Oh my god, what all of a sudden just happened? Somehow Cameron Chandler can't make it. I mean, once Bryce Benson gets close enough, you don't think he's just gonna give him the lead, I wouldn't think. Wow. Could this just change everything with 6 laps to go? Can they all make it? I don't see Bryce or anyone else saving. I don't know why Cameron has to. This could be...
Benson and Matthew Wire running down the 8 car.
Yeah, this could be actually pretty big. He continued to save on the clutch completely through 3 and 4. He's getting okay corner exits, so that's the only reason he's staying out front right now. 5 laps to go in Rockingham. But he is coasting.
Right there, he's
Yeah, I know. Oh, wow, he is coasting ALI. That 9 car is coming. I mean, this is not how Cameron wants to lose the race at all.
It's at that point where it has to be go time. I mean, Bryce Benson's right there. So if he's still trying to save fuel, this race could be...
Here he goes.
Yeah, there he... Oh!
Oh my goodness!
Benson to the outside through 1 and 2. He is there. Chandler trying to save fuel. Can he hold on with 4 laps to go in Rockingham? He's got to go now. He can't save anymore. He's got to go. Here comes Benson looking inside. Chandler runs the outside through 3 and 4. He's on the gas. Coming to 3 to go this time by. Will he save anymore? Benson gets loose. Matthew White back there in 3rd. Donahue in 4th. He is saving back at a 1 and 2. Here comes Benson on the bottom. Crazy scenes at the end of the race here at Rockingham. Does Chandler have enough fuel to make it? Benson all over his teammate's bumper as they make the race through 3 and 4. Coming to 2 to go. I mean, he is just on fumes now. Benson gets loose. Matthew White trying to close up the gap as well. Can Cameron Chandler hold on for 2 more laps? Up the racetrack, here comes Aiden Donahue in 4th. Top 4 separated by less than a 10th of a second with a lap and a half to go. What a race, what a dominant race for Cameron Chandler. He's got to hold on for 1 more lap. White flag in the air, 1 more time around, and here comes Donahue to the inside of White for 3rd.
Cameron Chandler's still holding the clutch in his turn 1.
Final.
Cameron Chandler outrun Bryce Benson on this insane fuel stats race.
Final time down the back straightaway through 3 and 4. Trying to hang on. He has been dominant. I think he might make it. Off turn 4 to the checkered flag. Cameron Chandler holds on and dominates Rockingham.
Holy crap.
What a race. Donahue gets 3rd. Benson comes home 2nd. But the points leader has finally found victory lane. Cameron Chandler wins Rockingham. What a race. So close. I don't even know if I was going to have enough fuel to do a burnout here. We'll see. Wow.
Cameron just went over there. He said he doesn't have enough to do a burnout, so I'm hoping he just comes and coasts into victory lane here. What a win for Cameron Chandler. Dominant the whole race. I think he led all laps in this race and even won the stage.
I mean, 1 more lap there, and he's out of fuel and loses the race, and probably finishes, I don't even know, not so great. Wow, I'm speechless. Who would have thought that kind of finish could happen here after what we just saw all race long? Wow, unbelievable. Cameron Chandler dominates the race, leads the most laps, didn't start on a pole. You won't get that bonus point. I believe he had a 0x as well. Won the stage, nearly a max points day for Cameron Chandler. If not 1, if not 2 points off. Unbelievable, guys. What do we even say at this point? Unreal.
And Donahue gets a top 3 there finally. At least gets a decent result this week.
Well, post-race interviews are coming up. Wow.
Cameron Chandler there with about 6 to go. I thought for a second that he might have been saving because he let Braden Hunsinger and Aiden Holes, but I thought maybe because they had fresh tires. But I didn't hear the clutch. I was like, is he saving? And all of a sudden I look in his cockpit, he is massively saving.
I mean, he was on the gas all run long, obviously. Pulled out 5 seconds. Thank God he pulled out 5 seconds for him because he would have been caught there. That was cutting it close, to say the least. I mean, he has to be thankful. And we got post-race interviews coming up. What a race. Cameron Chandler finally finds victory lane. A lot more chaotic, though, than I think you would have thought there at the end of the race. Unbelievable. But he will get his first win of the season, his first win since Daytona last season, the regular season finale in season number 4. He had 2 wins last year, Bristol and Daytona, and will extend his points lead with a dominant night. He ended up leading all but 1 lap today. Unbelievable. I'm not even sure who led that other lap. Pure domination by the 8 car, and barely held on though there at the end. We'll have him coming up for a post-race interview. Cameron Chandler, unbelievable car for you guys today. Incredible. You pulled out 5 seconds at one point. Obviously, you get this huge victory, your first of the season, first since Daytona last year. But my goodness, you had to save like hell there at the end of the race and nearly got caught by your teammate Bryce Benson. After what a dominant race it was, what happened there at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Cole Wilson got up on top of the pit box and knocked out our crew chief, Jamal Christ, and absolutely told a fib to me, and I couldn't make it on fuel, apparently. So, man, we had a 6-second lead before that happened, and I hate that we had to lose it all. It makes it... I guess it was a good finish for you guys, but... Man, Cole Wilson, you disconnected last night, and then you tried to sabotage my race. Nice try. Go home, fatty. But anyway, something about running this red Chipotle car, it's the same. Every time I run it for the first time in a season, I always just dominate the race. It was the same last season at Bristol. So hats off to TCMC. Great week for all of our for TCMC and all affiliates. Thank you to TJ Hanley for the paint scheme and Cap'n Designs for the concept.
But yeah, Cameron, what a race. I mean, like, speaking about, obviously, the dominance, you haven't been that dominant in a very long time. This, of course, comes on your anniversary of your Grand National Series championship back in season number 3, so perfect time to do all of this. Where was the pace just coming from, falling out 5 seconds here in the second half?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we had decent pace the first half, but definitely wasn't that kind of pace. I was kind of trying something different the entire race, especially the first half. I tried lifting at the start finish line. I don't think that really worked well, so I just tried running hard for the entire last stage, and it worked out pretty well. I was surprised once we pulled out to that 2-second lead, and then it just kept on going all the way out to 6 seconds, and I was kind of worried I got out there too far. I killed the tires a little too much, but thankfully we didn't, and thankfully we did pull out to that lead too, because otherwise we wouldn't have won with Cole Wilson on top of the box.
Well, yeah, of course, that was very, very intense there late in the race. We were all shocked. Also shocked that some of you guys didn't actually come to pit road. So ultimately, really great race for you guys. Domination. So this will give you a nice cushion in the points. Unfortunately for Sean Rowe, he exited the race early. That, of course, was second in points. Also, Braden Hunsaker, third in points. He had a terrible night as well. So what kind of relief is this that you get this great points buffer? And could this day maybe have gone any better for you guys?
Any bet? Huh? How could it? I mean, I guess I could have gotten a... Well, who cares about a pole? I still led every single lap. It doesn't matter. Is there a point?
Actually,
Yeah.
No. Pole does matter a lot here. I mean, as you could tell,
A lot.
Dane Donahue got the pole,
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter. He had pillow and blanket. It didn't matter. How many points is pole point? And is there a fastest lap point?
No fastest. It's. How do you not know this, you large?
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
He ate
gonna
all
tell
the
you
bonus
something.
points.
I was.
What the hell?
Speaking of, hold on, Cole Wilson. I have to interview you now, buddy. Why did you knock out Jamal Christ and go on my pit box and try to sabotage the race?
Hey, wait, hand. I got word. Lego Boy might have siphoned a little bit of fuel out of the car, man. That's why you're slowing up.
Yeah,
No, I
mean,
tried my hardest to take out Cameron D-Way.
No, what?
Really tried.
Yeah, Cole Wilson, you're a loser. But yeah, Cole Wilson, you're a loser.
Race and Cameron D-Way had a 5-second lead, and then I looked 5 laps later, and it was 1/10.
Yeah, that was all because of you. But Cole Wilson, you're a loser. I'm a winner. I've won a race. You suck. You still haven't won in Grand National.
All right, well, of course.
And he's gone.
Wow. Big congrats, Cameron Chandler. Absolutely dominant race. Your first win of the season. Great for you to get back in victory lane on the anniversary of your championship. Does that mean anything to you guys on the anniversary?
Actually, I didn't even know today was the anniversary until
I
you
told you
told me.
last night.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what I just said. I didn't know until you told me. So, I guess that's cool. We won again, or on the same day. It's been all downhill since that championship, especially with the changes to the next gen and really after Bristol. So maybe this is a sign. Maybe our luck will turn back around. But God, we didn't get to do burnouts. That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, well, still great race, Cameron. Congrats on the win. We will see you next week from Pocono.
Yeah, Fat Large Dover in 2 weeks. We're getting our second win there.
Wow.
Good one, good job, D08.
Good job, Jacob. You won last night too.
Thank you.
Well, that was Cameron Chandler. What a race. What a finish. Bryce Benson coming up next. We got some questions to ask him. Bryce Benson, I mean, it seemed pretty calm there at the end. You guys had a really good car. You got the second, but still, Cameron Chandler, that 5-second lead. All of a sudden, though, your teammate had to start saving, and you guys nearly got the win there. I mean, with maybe like a lap longer this race would have been, guys probably would have won the race. But yeah, what was going through your mind there? Seeing Cameron drop out, all of a sudden, the win could possibly be right in your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had it for a second, but I just didn't quite have the tires to get him. I mean, I don't think, even with another lap, I don't think I was going to get him. He was just overall still faster because he just did better at saving. And I don't really know how he was really good at that, but it was still a good performance from the team today. And yeah, I also want to point out this race I was racing while sick, so that was not also very fun, but still, the race is pretty fun. Wasn't this is probably one of the worst tracks to be racing sick, but yeah, still was overall a fun race. I think it was overall pretty good execution and probably run we kind of needed after the past 2 races.
Well, yeah, this is great for you guys. Of course, you entered fourth in points, or fifth in points. Of course, second and third.
Something like that.
Yeah, second and third in points. Sean Rowe, Braden Hunsicker both had pretty bad nights. You might gain on those two. What's your thoughts on ultimately all of that?
Yeah, we definitely need to gain some points because, yeah, we had some pretty rough races the past 2 races. I mean, obviously, we do have 3 wins on the season, but having those bad races basically just cancels out that those rough or those good races. But yeah, yeah, so we definitely need to get points, especially because I have probably some of my worst tracks coming up, Pocono and Dover. I might be okay at Pocono in the Gem 4, but in the Gen 7, I absolutely despise it. But we'll see how I am in the Gem 4 there. But Dover, I have like pretty much no hope for. So I gonna probably need a good run at Pocono because I don't expect to do very well at Dover. But I mean, you never know. I mean. Rockingham requires a similar driving style, I guess, to Dover a little bit. So, I guess if I can just do what I did tonight, it might help at Dover. But yeah, definitely do need to gain some points back though after the rough races.
All right, Bryce. Well, still a great job finishing second. Almost nearly got the win there. Maybe a lap longer, you actually would have had it. But we will see you next week from the Tricky Triangle. Coming up next is going to be your third place finisher, Aiden Donahue. Aiden Donahue, you guys started on pole, which it looks like you guys could have even ran away for this one. Unfortunately, you lost it there. Not a great start for you guys. I don't know exactly what happened there on the initial start of the race, but you guys will still come home to finish third. Definitely better than some finishes this season. You saw Cameron Chandler, he was saving. What was going through your mind when all of a sudden you saw the leader saving, you guys all battling for the win there at the end, and ultimately you got around Matthew White as well?
Oh, well, got around Matthew White because he decided to slide it across the line and not drive it across the line. I'm just playing. No, it wasn't that we didn't have pace. It was just I was worried about like what line to run all race long, and Cameron had it perfect, and I felt like if I did what they were doing, I'd spin out at a turn 4. So I was doing anything I could to keep it straight, but eventful. We finally kept it clean, and it's about time we ran up front all race and showed that we're here to play because I'm tired of running sixth and not knowing what to do. And I'm glad we had a very fast run today. That's a plus.
Well, of course, Aiden, we head to a pretty unique racetrack next week, Pocono. I haven't been there since season 3. How do you guys think you can ultimately play out that race next week?
First and foremost, fuel. Making sure that you have plenty of it and you're good to the end. The draft isn't as much as other cars that we've been to in the past, like the next gen and stuff like that. But I think it's still going to be a matter of what you can do to keep your tire temps down and what you can do to keep your fuel in the car, whether that be doing what Cam did, clutch at the start finish line, but let it roll into the corner so you're still going fast, or just use less throttle on the straightaways because of the draft, or not shift, whatever that is. Uh, just yeah, maximum save on fuel, and hopefully you're there at the end to make something happen.
All right, well, nice job finishing third today. Should be also a pretty good gain in the points for you guys as well. And we'll see you next week from Pocono.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys. See ya.
All right, up next is going to be Ashton Miller. Comes up with a top 5. Ooh, we can actually drag him. There we go. Ashton Miller, top 5 finish here tonight at Rockingham Speedway for you guys. Again, good amount of spots there at the end of the race. Some guys pitted, so kind of came into your hands. And you get a 5th place finish. I think this might be your best finish of the season tonight at the Rock. Ultimately, you guys had top 10 pace all day long. Ultimately, like, what are your thoughts on this race?
I think if we had a couple more laps, we would have been able to pass basically everyone in the top 5. We could have gotten a win, I think. I had the fastest car with like 10 to go. I could tell because I was catching Aiden and that entire pack up there. But the race is okay. It was not the best. This definitely wasn't my what I wanted to race. But I'm glad I got a top 5 and all. But I mean, I think we had more pace overall.
Well, Miller, of course, we head next week to Pocono Raceway. The Tricky Triangle, definitely a pretty unique one. What is your confidence level at that racetrack?
Well, when we did the next gen, I would say it was in the middle. So, new car, and I haven't really drove in Pocono on it. So I'm gonna say low for right now until we get some practice in.
All right, Ashton. Well, still a nice job. A top 5 run, I believe, your best finish of the season. Pretty good points. He might be just above the chase cut line. We'll have to see once the points come out. And we will see you next week for race 9 of the season in Pocono. All right. Got a few more to go here. Coming up next, Aiden Holes, I believe. Aiden Holes, you guys had great pace all day. You also got back on the lead lap, and you ultimately will finish in 8th tonight. Your might be your first top 10, I believe, maybe of the season here at Rockingham tonight. We're going well for you guys, and I believe the highest you guys ran tonight was I think 6th.
Yeah, we had a really good car. I did a lot of practice for this too. I really don't know what to say, honestly. We had a good car. Essentially, Braden decided to come out after being 23 laps down and steal my fastest lap bonus, and that kind of lost me a point. So, other than that, we got stage points. We really did all we needed to do. We would have had a top 10 at Phoenix if it wasn't for Davian Tobin running through us. So, just really happy to get a good run to book in the crappy runs we've had the past 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, you're lucky there isn't actually a fastest lap bonus in the Cup Series.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess that's just
I didn't know
iCar.
that.
So of course,
I'll go yell at Braden again for it.
So of course, anyways, we go to Pocono next week. How do you guys think you can translate this top 10 run into another solid finish to try to get more points to go into your chase hunt here?
Honestly, I really suck at Pocono. Might be one of my worst tracks in iRacing. So I don't know how we're gonna come out of there with more than a 30th place finish. So that's gonna be hard.
All right, and well, still nice job. A great run for you guys tonight. A great finish in 8th, and we'll see you next week from the Tricky Triangle.
All right, thank you.
up next going to be Andrew Stacy. Andrew Stacy, in the first half of this race, you guys had a good amount of pace, a lot of it. Got trapped a lap down throughout the rest of this race. You still will come home in 10th for some attrition. So not the worst finish at all. A top 10 finish, which is definitely pretty good for you guys. Like, what happened ultimately with that strategy where you got caught a lap down and never could find the lead lap again?
So, yeah, we were running pretty good. I think our highest running position was 6th. I fell out at 8th. I just felt the tires kind of giving out. And I assumed everyone would pit in that first halfway, and just no one really pit. So I pit around lap 55, and I was running smooth, nice and smooth. I was about to get my lap back, but then Brendan Hunsinger got into an incident which trapped me a lap down. And then yeah, we were just kind of cruising from there. And then I made a bold late strategy call, and yeah, we ended up 10th, past CJ Erdman with 3 to go. Yeah, I'm still happy with this finish. Excited to see what happens in Pocono. Definitely.
Well, yeah, of course, the tricky triangle is coming up next. Like, what overall is your confidence level at that racetrack, you think?
I don't even own the racetrack, so I'm kind of a bit like curious because this will be my first time ever running it in a simulator. I've never ran it in like the NASCAR heat games or nothing, so I don't really know what it looks like. I went there one time in real life, and I saw the front stretch, and that's about it.
All right, Andrew. Well, of course, have fun testing over this next week, coming up the next Thursday, and we will see you, of course, next week for Pocono. I think one more to go. It's going to be Connor Havrilla. Came home P12 today. Connor Havrilla, 4 top 15 finishes in a row for you guys, which is definitely better than how the season started, even though the car count was probably the smallest we've had in a very long time today. But ultimately, it's 12th place here at Rockingham. How do you think overall your day went?
Not very well. We got turned immediately on the initial restart, which was great, and then felt good. Then couldn't tire stay very well, and it's a long stage, so that kind of put us out having to pit one extra time than other guys, and then that kind of ended our day going 2 down with this or car count. But I think if could say better, could have had a decent car, maybe better finish, but we'll take the top 12.
Well, of course, Connor, you guys now, after this race, let me check real quick. You're going to be 20th in points. So you're still about, what is it? About like 30 or so. No, that's more than like 50 or so points out. You still think it's possible for the chase with still a good amount of races to go before that happens?
If there is any chance, we have to really start getting some good finishes rolling. I mean, we can't. I'll take top 12 or 12th finish, but we gotta get more top 10s, maybe closer to top 5s, and just try to stay out of trouble. If not, I don't think so. If we can do that, we have a chance, but we'll try to do the rest of the season and finish off the best we can. So keep grinding at it.
All right, Connor. Well, of course, nice job on another top 15, 4th in a row for you guys, and we'll see you next week in Pocono.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Well, that was certainly a day. Cameron Chandler absolutely puts the clinic on the field, dominates flag to flag. Didn't even start on pole, though, so will not get that bonus point. It would have been, if he'd actually beat Aiden Donahue for the pole, he would have gotten the first ever max points day in Cup Series in league history. We still scored the most amount of points anyone has ever scored in a NASCAR iRacing FedEx League race with 42 today. That is the record. So he still broke a record there. Because we have more points awarded now anyways this season. Nobody's done the sweep yet. But man, what a race, Eli. Dominant for Cameron Chandler, but then almost went unraveled there at the end. Like, what are your final thoughts?
It was a very, very clean race after the first 2 cautions that we had early on. Very clean. Also, we had a smaller field, but opened up more opportunities for guys that maybe don't do as well to get good finishes, help them in points. But Cameron Chandler, man, had a really good day. Almost led every lap. Thought the race was over, and all of a sudden you see him have to burn the clutch and lose it like a second a lap, and you're wondering, is he going to make it? And is Bryce Benson going to get there? Since he got there, I thought Bryce Benson would win this race, and all of a sudden Cameron Chandler went back going and held on. It was a heck of a race. Matthew White and Aiden Donahue had a battle all race long for like second or third, fourth place. They were battling all day. It was a very good race. We head on the Pocono next week. Should be an interesting track. A lot of drafting, big straightaway, a lot of speed. We'll see how that goes.
Well, of course, that will do it tonight. We got NASCAR iRacing FedEx lobbies coming up tomorrow night to end off the week. Real quick before the outro music. Let's go through your schedule. It's a pretty unique schedule, to be honest. I don't think we've done any of these races besides maybe the main event. We do the Legacy Gen 6 cars at Charlotte Motor Speedway to start off. Then we have to take the Toyota GR86s to the Homestead Miami Roval. That's a very unique one. And then we finish it off the main event, trucks at Atlanta to finish us off. So very fun night of NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies coming up tomorrow night, Friday, week 41 at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So the official NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series will, of course, be back on next Thursday at Pocono Raceway for the race number 9 of the season. The Grand National is off. You got ICAR on Tuesday. Probably those two events for next week, but of course lobbies tomorrow. All right. That will do it from Rockingham. What a week. 4 days of action. All of them did not disappoint. Real quick, your winners this week are Richard Cheery, Matthew White, Jacob Clarino, his first win, and Cameron Chandler. So 4 unique winners this week throughout the 4 series. And that was a very fun week of Rockingham action. That will do it. We'll see you for lobbies tomorrow night. And, of course, on behalf of all officials, team winners, commentators, drivers, everyone involved in making this league what it is, we will see you for the official Cup Series next Thursday from Pocono Raceway. And see you for lobbies tomorrow. Good night from Rockingham Speedway. Congratulations, Cameron Chandler, your dominant winner in Rockingham.